Morning students. Our today's topic is organization structure. We had already talked about organizing. What is the meaning of organizing? What is the process through which organizing function can be done in the organization? That means steps in the process of organizing, and we also learned about the importance of organizing. Today we'll be talking about the organization structure. Let us see how do we define organization structure. Organization structure means the framework within which all the managerial and operating functions or tasks are performed in an organization. So it is a framework, एक ढांचा है, and within that framework all the tasks are performed. And this organization structure is the outcome of organizing process. Because there has been organizing done in the organization, that is why we see that the structure comes into existence. Now there is need of proper organization structure to be there in each and every organization. Why? We are going to learn about that. That is why the heading says, why is there need for organization structure? Organization structure is felt when organization grows in size and complexity. Now we have seen that it is not that the organizations, once they come into existence, they are stagnant. It is expected that each and every organization is going to grow. And if it grows in size and complexity. There may be increase in the new functions. There may be increase in the new divisions. There may be increase in the product lines. So if there is such kind of changes which is taking place in the organization because of the increase in the size and complexity of the business organization, automatically there will be need for a structure which can define the areas of authority, responsibility, the scope of work for each and every individual, so that there can be proper relationship developed between work, people and resources to be utilized effectively and efficiently towards organizational goals. No organization without a proper organization structure can progress towards growth and prosperity. That is why it is essential. Second point says, organization structure, it specifies the relationship between people, work and resources. Once the structure is made properly, we see that structure, it specifies relationship between people, work and resources. What work the people are going to do and how they are going to utilize the resources towards the achievement of organizational goals. It also allows to establish correlation and coordination between physical, human and financial resources. Proper organization structure helps to establish correlation and coordination, because if the structure is there, it clarifies the areas of authority and responsibility, and once it clarifies the areas of authority and responsibility, the work is carried out although in different departments, but it is within the limitations which the personals working in the organization knows, and in this way they try to establish coordination and correlate with the work activities towards the achievement of the organizational goals. It ensures smooth flow of communication and better control over the operations of the business enterprise. If there is proper organization structure, there is also a possibility that the flow of communication will be good between superior and subordinates, because the lines are clear as to whom they have to take orders from and where they have to report, and that is why we see that the superior is able to control the operations of the business in a proper manner, and in this way there is smooth functioning of the business enterprises. It also helps the organization to work as an integrated unit by regulating and coordinating the responsibilities of individuals and departments. If there is proper organization structure maintained, there is always a possibility that the organization will work like a integrated unit. It will be all the departments, they will be correlating and coordinating and working as a team towards the achievement of the organizational goals, because the areas of work, the authorities and responsibilities, that is clear to each and everyone working in the organization. Because of that structure, they know where, at what position they are working, what is their role in the organization, and this helps the individuals and the departments working at different places to coordinate and integrate their efforts towards the achievement of the organizational goals. So we see that without a proper organization structure, the organization cannot function smoothly and properly. That is why it is essential for each and every organization. But depending upon the nature of the work and the requirement, each and every organization may have its own organization structure, but the structure should be such that it should make smooth operation of the business, smooth operation of the activities which is being carried out, and there is proper utilization of resources towards the achievement of the common objective which everyone has to perform. Now this organization structure, this is the information I am sharing, is shown in the organization chart. I am circling this of an organization. Each and every organization has an organization chart which clarifies the hierarchy, the rank, the position, the areas of authority, responsibility, superior subordinate relationship, and this chart depicts everything. But this structure certainly is made always keeping in mind, I told you different organizations, they have different kinds of structures. It totally depends upon the span of management. This term is used here, the span of management, which gives shape to the organization structure. Now what is span of management? Span of management means the number of subordinates which can be effectively managed by a superior. This is what is the span of management. Always, according to the span of management, the levels of management is decided in the organization. And there is inverse relationship between span of management and levels of management. Very important information. The span can be narrower, the span can be wider. It can be wider if a manager is able to manage more number of subordinates. It can be narrower if the manager is not in a position to manage more number of subordinates. So if there is wider span of management, automatically we will see that there will be less levels of management in the organization. So shorter will be the levels. If there is narrower span of management, there will be taller, you may say, levels of management in the organization. That means more levels will have to be created. This we can understand with the help of an example. But very important thing which you need to memorize is that always there is reverse relationship or inverse relationship between span of management and levels of management. If the span is wider, automatically we will see that shorter will be the levels or less will be the levels. If the span is narrower, more levels will have to be created in the organization so that the work can be properly managed and supervised, and the work can be done properly towards the achievement of the organizational goals. So, three important information. First of all, the structure that is depicted in the organization chart. The structure certainly depends upon the span of management, what kind of structure it will be there. That is why it is said that the span of management gives shape to the organization structure. Sometimes it is asked in the exam, what gives shape to the organization structure? It is the span of management which gives shape to the organization structure. And span of management means the number of subordinates which can be effectively managed by a superior, by a manager at a time. If he is able to manage more number of subordinates, there will be requirement of less levels in the organization. Otherwise, more levels will have to be created so that the work is properly managed. So there is inverse relationship between span of management and levels of management. Let us take this with the help of an example. I'll be just explaining to you the example, how it comes. I am giving the heading relationship between span of management and levels of management. Always inverse, we have learned this. How? Let us take an example. Case 1 and case 2. I am taking case 1 here and case 2. Case 1 says there is a sales manager in the organization and the sales manager has 5, 6, 7, 8 has 8 salesmen working under him to manage the work. In another case, there is a sales manager and below the sales manager there are sales executives. We may say sales executive 1, sales executive 2. Sales executive 1 has 4 salesmen. Similarly, sales executive 2 has 4 salesmen. So what do we see? We see that the nature of work in both the cases is same. But if we say this is 2 different organizations, organization structure, case 1 it may be X, Y, Z limited, case 2 ABC Limited. Here what do we see? We see that below sales manager there is only one level, and that is the level of salesman, and sales manager is directly able to supervise or manage the work of 8 salesmen. Maybe it may be because of his more experience, as a result of which he doesn't require below him any other supervisor to control the activities or supervise the activities or oversee the activities of the salesman. But in ABC Limited, we see that below sales manager there is sales executive 1, sales executive 2. There are 2 positions of sales executive, and below sales executive position 1 there are 4 salesmen, and below sales executive 2 there are 4 salesmen. So what it is shown? It is shown that here below sales manager there are 2 levels created. Why? Because may be possible that the sales manager is new, he doesn't have that much experience to work in the organization, as a result of which he requires someone below him to see that the work of the salesman can be properly supervised. So 2 organizations, although the nature of work may be the same, but the structure is different. And we see that when there is wider, in this case there is wider span of management, because sales manager is able to manage more number of subordinates. Span of management means the number of subordinates which can be managed by the superior, and here the superior is able to manage, because more number of subordinates, we see that the levels are less, only one level is there. Whereas in this case, because the superior is not able to completely manage the subordinates on his own, he requires under him one supervisor who can control the activities of the salesman. So we see that here the span is narrower, as a result of which the levels have increased. So this is an example of wider span of management, example of narrower span of management. And if there is wider span of management, we see that less levels required, and if there is narrower span of management, we see there is more levels required to manage work. So in this way, we come to the conclusion that the framework that may differ from organization to organization, or the structure that may differ from organization to organization. 2 organizations may not have the same kind of structure, because the purpose of the structure is to see that the activities and resources, they are properly, you may say, arranged, they are in order, so that the work can be properly done and there is smooth transition of work towards organizational goals. Now we will be talking about the types of organization structure. We have briefly learnt about what is organization structure, why is organization structure important for every organization, or why there is need for organization structure. Now we will be talking about the types of organization structure. Basically, there are 2 types of organization structure. Types of organization structure. One is functional organization structure and another is divisional organization structure. Now, what is functional organization structure? Structure which is created on the basis of major activities in an organization grouped together in separate departments. For example, in an organization, to achieve the organizational goal, there are 4 major activities which has to be carried out. For example, an organization has a target to produce something. If the target is fixed, it has to be decided what all activities have to be carried out in order to achieve that target. And an organization has 4 activities. It may be production, it may be sales, it may be purchase, it may be human resources. So what will happen? There will be 4 different departments which will be created in order to get work done. All the production related activities will be carried out in production department, and there will be group of people working in that department to achieve their production target. There will be similarly sales department, purchase department and human resource department. So in this way, if there are 4 different activities which is required, activities have to be decided by the organization, what all activities will be needed to achieve that goal. So it is this kind of structure. So the structure will be like this. There will be a general manager, below him there will be production, sales, purchase and human resource department which will be there in the organization. So what does it show? It shows that this kind of structure is totally based on the major activities, or you may say based on the major functions which have to be carried out to get work done in the organization. And those functions they are put together as different departments, and each and every department has to coordinate with each other so that collectively they help in the achievement of the organizational goals. It is basically this kind of functional organizational structure that is mostly in cases where the organization is having, you may say, large scale operation, and it is dealing basically in one product. If it is dealing in one product, then the activities related to those products have to be put in different departments, which can be managed properly towards the organizational goals. The second is divisional organizational structure. Now this structure is created keeping in mind the number of products. Always it has to be kept in mind. Number of products. If there are more than one product, it is advisable always there should be the framework which should separate the work of the organization on the basis of product line. So in this structure is created here. Organization structure is based on product line within which functions or activities related with the product is carried out. For example, in an organization is dealing in two products. One is garment, another is leather bags or leather products. Now for this organization should have the structure such that it can differentiate or it can separate the work of two different departments. So the structure of this organization will entirely be different from the organization which is having only one product. It is better. So the structure will be like this. There will be general manager. Under general manager, there will be garment unit head and leather unit head. Garment unit head, for example, requires 4 activities: production, sales, finance and human resource. These activities are related to the work which has to be carried out in the garment unit. Whereas the same activities, it's not necessary that it is required in leather unit, or if same also is required, then to we should see that the activities need to be separated in two different departments. They should have their own departments which can carry out the work in a proper manner so that there is no overlapping of activities. Leather unit will have its own department. For example, it may have purchase, sales, finance, and human resource. So what do we see? In case of divisional organization structure, the divisions are done on the basis of product line. If there are more than one products, always it is advisable for the organizations to have this kind of structure so that each and every product has its own list of activities which have to be carried out in different departments, and those departments, they can work in coordination with each other towards the achievement of their goals, which may be related to their product. But in case of functional organization structure, we have seen that departments, they are created on the basis of major functions. So if it is one product, it will be easy what all activities or functions have to be carried out in the organization related with the product, and those activities, they can be put together in separate departments, and those departments, they can coordinate their efforts towards the achievement of the goal. So in this way, we see that these are the two types of organization structure. Each and every organization is free to decide what kind of structure it wants to adopt, but always there is suitability related with the selection of the organization structure, which we will be learning in our next class about what is the advantages, disadvantages, and suitability. That means when is functional organization structure suitable, or when is divisional organizational structure suitable in what types of situations, so that the organizations can take proper decisions. And if they take proper decisions in the selection of the organization structure, there can be always smooth work carried out in the organization, and the goal can be achieved in a much proper manner. So with this, we have completed the introduction part of organization structure. What is organization structure? Why do we need organization structure? And on what depends the formation of the organization structure, that is the span of management. How is span related with